Welcome to another Indie Dev Showcase, highlighting the many indie games we play here on the channel. If you'd like to submit a game for a future video, please reach out. But otherwise, let's begin. We are starting things off with Astronimo. This is a co-op puzzle platformer. You are trying to get off an alien planet. You and your friends must use the power of platforming and construction to do so. Now, the footage that you are seeing is taken from early access. The game did officially launch at the end of 2023. Our gameplay here is a mix of platforming and construction. You'll be able to create various devices that can be used to either move, lift, push, and other verbs to get you and your friends from point A to point B. The game is definitely on the delightful side, but it is one of those titles where the basic gameplay in of itself is just okay if you're going for this as a single player experience, where the real meat of this one is going to be having up to, I believe, 3 friends, so a total of 4 players, to mess around, jump around, and build around with. So if you and your buddies are looking for a very co-op heavy and very delightful game to play, I would recommend checking this one out. But if you're looking for kind of like a single player like puzzle factorio, then I don't think there's enough moving parts here that will keep you interested. We now go to Yeetus. This is a bullet heaven style roguelite where you play as the hero Yeetus, who has the power of, well, eating things at enemies in order to win. The kind of twist on the formula here is that the floor is your weapon. So the more you pick up to fling at enemies means less space for you to maneuver. As you play through, you'll get more gold, which you can then use to unlock permanent upgrades, get additional passives, and so on. If you're looking for a very expansive bullet heaven with like tons and tons of things to do, this is probably not going to be the game for you. But I found kind of like the twist on the theme to be very delightful, and the game seems to be aimed more for the casual side of things. So if you're looking for a somewhat relaxed bullet heaven where you're going to be, I guess, yeeting heaven your enemies around, then I would give this one a try. We now go to Roots of Yggrdrasil. This is a kind of roguelite meets, I guess, like city builder card game, somewhere in between those 3. You are trying to rebuild and repower the giant tree Yggrdrasil, and to do that you must fly around, construct settlements, and gather the necessary resources and materials to upgrade, unlock new cards, features, etc, etc. The game works like this. You'll place cards down on each turn. Each card can represent a building or some kind of service that can provide you with resources. You need to get enough of specific resources in order to kind of take over a new territory. When you take over that new territory, you have more space, which will then enable you to get closer to specific, kind of like the roots of the tree, which you must complete a specific task or give it enough resources in order to kind of turn it on. Now, the longer that you take, negative events will start to make themselves known. And if you take too long, then your run ends. By winning or losing, you'll be able to unlock additional cards / structures in kind of the game's meta progression, with different cards providing with different kind of amounts of resources or different synergies, such as placing a certain building around that will gain more value based on the number of villagers, and so on. I like the look and feel of this one. It did feel like one of those games where it can be, I guess, quote-unquote, solved. While the maps are going to be randomly generated, it's still very much that case that you have a very specific goal you're trying to achieve, and once you know which cards to put in your deck and you know how to do it, it's just rinsing and repeating along those lines. As I keep saying when we've been playing these kinds of roguelike city builders and stuff like that, perhaps the greatest version of that particular style is still Against the Storm, but this being turn-based does provide a little bit more approachability, as you're given more than enough time to plan and figure out how you want to proceed. So if you're looking for that kind of like city builder mix, and a game that definitely has, I think, enough charm and approachability to get you through it, I would give this one a try. We now go to something very casual and cozy with Sticky Business. You run a sticker shop, and it's up to you to give your customers what they want. A cute variety of stickers of various shapes, sizes, and colors. The money that you earn from them will allow you to buy more stickers, which will let you get more customers, etc, etc. If you're hoping for a cutthroat business sim of stickers, this is not going to be that game. You'll be able to create your own stickers, as well as be able to have like cozy interactions with the various customers. This is probably not going to be the game for me, but if you're someone out there looking for a very cozy game to enjoy and you love the act of sticking to things, then definitely give this one a try. We are keeping with the cozy theme with Ludde. You play as Ludde the dog when their village seems to be under a mysterious attack by a strange wizard. It is up to you to save the day by, well, getting into some hijinks, collecting MacGuffins, and exploring the area. This is an ultra low-stakes open-world platformer. You'll explore the world looking for money and golden bones. You'll be able to buy different items that will enable you to do more minigames and complete more challenges. You'll need to collect all the bones if you want to save the day. Now, there is no fear of death or getting hurt or anything like that. And while this game can be a little bit on the janky side in terms of how like the movement and the physics work, it was surprisingly delightful. If you're someone who likes your 3D platforming to be, again, very movement, very tech-focused, very challenging, this is not going to be the game for you. But if you're looking for a very casual and fun open-world platformer, something you can play with some kids or family members, I would give this one a try, and it may work out for you. And we follow up that casual game with some ultra-violence with Kapital Punishment 22XX. This is from the developer of A Robot Named Flight. This is an action brawler platformer when you are trying to escape from the worst prison in the future. You must team up with a variety of convicts and punch, shoot, and destroy your way out of the facility. The game features kind of two modes of play. You have the quote-unquote like story mode, slash I guess like kind of maybe like a quasi-Metroidvania, and then you have an arena, survive as long as you can, unlock additional perks and characters, and so on. As you play, you'll be assisted by various other inmates, each with their own powers and ways of helping you, while you explore the different levels looking for permanent upgrades, and try not to get killed by any of the death traps. This one felt pretty good to play. Now, I did have an issue that it was one of those games where when you punch the enemy, they can like stay just out of your range and hit you. So you always have to like kind of push in to attack. But I believe that has been solved in a patch after we played this. This one is still in early access, and what you see may not represent the current version of it. I think this is a really solid kind of modern retro action platformer. So if you're a fan of beat 'em ups, jump 'em ups, and I guess prison breaks it ups, then give this one a try. I don't know how long it will stay in early access, but from what we played, it does feel very robust at the moment. So with that, we're going to wrap up this week's showcase. You'll find links to all the games down below. Let me know what you think about these as well. If you want to your game for a future stream and video, please reach out. Thanks again for watching, and see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.